run with Taylor to begin the drive. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Second down, another run with Taylor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Garoppolo now. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here we go, here we go.
And right side, they're going to go option here. 1st and 10, Taylor now. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Chicago! Jonathan Taylor with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Bears are on the board first here this afternoon. Point after here coming up. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Fields this way up at the 17. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A give. Dobbins trying the right side. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Right where the set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
This defense for the Bears, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury and having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope they'll recover.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
65, 13.
Throwing on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And he's got this to Jefferson. 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Jefferson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The Saints on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Pickett back to throw. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Pickett. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Down inside the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 23-yard run, and the Saints have cut it back within a score. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The Bears sitting at 5-2 on the year, and they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
11.
Garoppolo. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Landry now in motion right. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, here's Dobbins. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And his throw here's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
White.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the first half. Here's Pickett. They set up the screen for Dobbins. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. 133 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That was a good run. Probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Here comes the Saints pulling in as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
One, Omaha.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Pickett now from the gun here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running left, Taylor. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. An even 100 yards rushing here for Taylor. He's got a 1st down.
11.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He'll drop this down to Taylor, and he'll be marked out right at the 20-yard line.
There it is, a staple of most teams' playbooks, the angle route. A lot of times you want to take away that inside route by a back, but when they sell it like he's going to the flat, that is tough on inside linebackers. One false step, and that ball's completed.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Again, it'll be Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Pickett sets up play action. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Donovan Peoples-Jones. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this fourth quarter advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now Dobbins again on second down. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Going for Burton, and he's got it. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins. And some room to roam now. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. 201 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for first. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. But he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bears will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. Give it 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, fellas, here we go. 21.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Wow. That ball gets...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On the Jets sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. With it is Jackson. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett.
He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jonathan Jones.
And the Bears are going to take over here up near the 40.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Chicago,
they climb to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.
And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.